And if you do not bring all the knights and the elements and the archetypes and the agencies together, shamanic teachings spoke about the round table, the coming together, no head, no masculine authority, no hierarchy. All the original shamanic models were based on the sphere, the hologram, the circle. But until you have brought all the voices, all the knights from all their travels to the table, how are you going to resolve the problems and the questions? They all have to be facing the same direction. All the aspects of yourself, nothing banished, nothing repressed. Because you will not fight tyranny with force, only with wisdom, and most importantly, psychic immunity. Erich Fromm talks about the outsider by saying, in fact, it is the fully sane person who feels isolated in the insane society. And he may suffer so much for the incapacity to communicate that it is he who becomes psychotic. As we've said, the person who's trying to handle this becomes the outsider. And if he's not immune, he will be destroyed. The net that catches everybody right now, because this is happening all across the world, this is where the big leviathans come in. To try and hope that you won't do it, that you'll take the easy way out. Take a pill, it's simple, right? But you've just shot your soul to death. Why do all that inner work? And I'll say what I said at the beginning. What you have to understand is that when these dark aspects start to come and visit, we don't welcome them in. We imagine that we're suddenly being haunted and destroyed. The depressions that people feel, the anxieties, is actually, when you really see it correctly, is the first time they've even negotiated that inner voice, but they've learned to think of that as the enemy, as opposed to the voices of the world. Here we now have it. Scientists may soon be able to erase fear and trauma from your mind. That is the death of humanity. That is 2012. That is post-humanism. That's where we're going. All the other aspects of it are kind of less important than this. As David Hawkins reminds us, there is no antidepressant that will cure depression that's spiritually based. For the malaise does not originate from brain dysfunction, but from an accurate response to the desecration of life. Now here's the final point. Jung brought up this most incredible point about the dynamics of the unconscious mind, and basically it goes for all kinds of mysteries. He says, we know that the mask of the unconscious is not rigid. It reflects the face we turn toward it. Hostility lends it a threatening aspect. Friendliness softens its features. It only becomes dangerous when our conscious attitude to it is hopelessly wrong. To the degree that we repress it, its danger increases. In other words, to the unconscious, like to any mystery, even to people, whatever attitude, because attitude is so important, that you project into it, is what it becomes. So if you turn a face of hostility and false curiosity and power hungriness or fear or anxiety towards the unconscious, you'll be met with demons. In the unconscious, there is no road except your steps as you make it. Like Krishnamurti is saying, it's a pathless land. You enter into it at your own will with no companions, and you meet there whatever is in your psyche. Whatever you bring to it is what it reflects. And this is partly the reason why a lot of people won't do this, because there's very toxic people who can never do this. And then it's also the reason which stops us from going forward. Our ideas shape our reality. Then if we know that, we have to be very, very cautious about what we're doing. Blake said it this way, in your own bosom you bear your heaven and earth, and all you behold. Though it appears without, it is within, in your imagination, of which this world of mortality is but a shadow. Remember the Maya, the ideas that we have about that? And Rand says that men have been taught that it is a virtue to agree with others, but the Creator is the man who disagrees. Men have been taught that it is a virtue to swim with the current, but the Creator is the man who goes against the current. Men have been taught that it is a virtue to stand together, but the Creator is the man who stands alone. Shwala Delubich strikes at the heart of all these scientific paradigms. He says man is not a beast, he is animated. Man is the epitome of the cosmos, a creature housing the divine spark. Man is not an evolved amphibian or animal form that has become what we are. Man is perfect at his origin, a divine being who has degenerated into what we are. Look at that. Man is not an evolved amphibian, an animal form that became what we are. Right? Hasn't we been taught that from the childhood? Man is perfect at his origin, a divine being who has degenerated into what we are. He's talking about devolution. The scientists are always trying to put earrings on the Mona Lisa. Fix what isn't broken. What is the attitude that we show to the unconscious? Heidegger already told you what it is. That your thinking, true consciousness, is actually an act of thanks. It's actually an act of daily gratitude, not in some forced New Age spinner rack way. A complete understanding of the miracle of your existence here and now. And that thing out there that you see every morning, the sunrise, the clouds, the stars, that whole natural matrix out there is you, by the way. It's not separate from you. That's a delusion. That's your Maya. That is you. Treat it as such. If you treat it toxically, that's because you have a toxic attitude towards yourself. If you treat it with reverence, it's because you have a reverent attitude towards yourself. But it's all rooted in your own vision and understanding of yourself. And we'll finish on this. The beautiful words of Chung Tzu from the 4th century BC, who literally teaches us, lets us know what leads towards the true liberation and wisdom. He says, "He who can free himself from achievement and from fame, descend and be lost amid the masses of men, he will flow like the Tao. Unseen he will go about like life itself, with no name and no home. Simple he is, without distinction. To all appearances, he is a fool. His steps leave no trace. He has no power. He achieves nothing, has no reputation. Since he judges no one judges him. Such is the perfect man. His boat is empty." Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your time.